Alright guys, I got some good news and some bad news, and well, it's also the same news. The car is actually painted. It's not finished, don't worry, but I'll give you a quick rundown of what's happened, then I'm going to show you the car. So the camera died while I was priming the vehicle, and I took the camera inside, and then I had my son over the weekend, but Sam came over on Saturday. So my parents had my son for the day, they took him out or whatever, and we just spent the day sanding the car, and then we got like half a coat of paint on the car, and Sam had to leave, so I did the rest of the car, painted it fully, and I didn't bring the camera down because it's just so much of a pain in the ass moving the camera around constantly. So again, this is a bit more of a time lapse than a physically seeing the progression of the vehicle, but here it is. I fucking love it. I think it looks great. Look at fucking that, boys, hey? She is fucking beautiful. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what's going on here. I've done about 3 coats of paint, so it's on there pretty fucking good. The engine bay I'm not like too anal about, so like see how it's a bit darker here, like don't care. Like as long as it's yellow and it's all one coat, one color, that's fine. What's going on though, however, is there are a few imperfections. There was a little imperfection up here earlier, because a fly landed on the roof while I was painting, and then there's little things like on the back here. Sorry, just bumped the tripod. Like over here. So this was an imperfection here. It still is obviously, but I've sanded it already with 600 grit, so that's actually dead smooth now. Even though it doesn't look smooth, it absolutely is one level. So I can now repaint over that. So there's little things like that across the car. There was something on the back here at some point, and most of it also, sorry, just moving, oh shit, my bad. Little things like this area here, that was heavily like redone by the previous owners. I'm just going to go over this with 600 grit, make that nice and smooth, and just along the front where it's been a bit rough, you've got like a couple of lumps here, just from like the primer, and I think there's more of it over here as well, like this you could probably see. Let me get nice and close for you. The lighting's probably a bit rough, but basically those are the main problems. Like everything else looks really good. Honestly, I'm really happy with it. Some of the roof I'd like to get over here and just sand that a bit more. So here is, I've done 600 grit sandpaper here, and this feels like, this is smooth as fuck. That is so fucking smooth compared to where like the paint hasn't been touched yet. So here's today's plan. Which I'm probably not going to record just because of like the file size, and the battery's just going to die anyway midway through. So if I give you the rundown now, you at least know what's going on, and if you don't see anything, then shit, sorry, you'll know what's happening in the next episode. Basically, I'm going to go over the outside of the car now. I'm not going to touch inside the doors here because I think these are pretty good, and I don't really the main reason of doing these areas is that way when you open the car, it's not 2 different colors. Like it doesn't need to be perfect in here. So I'm going to go over the outside of the car now, the roof, the back, the front, with 600 grit sandpaper. Just give it a once over. Make sure everything is dead smooth. No bumps, no creases, no nothing. Once that's done, I'm going to mix up some paint again, spray the entire car again. I'm going to probably do 2 coats, do like a pretty thin coat, then do like a medium coat, just to make it nice and even. Let that dry for a couple days. Just going to pause the footage here for a second, boys, because it's about to get real confusing if I don't explain what's about to happen. In this video, right here, I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm thinking that I'm going to sand the paint back and then clear coat it in a few days. What actually happens right now is I paint it 2 layers. I go to the paint place within half an hour, and the guy pretty much says, you're going to want to clear coat that now, not in a few days time. So I pretty much come straight home from the paint place and I clear coat the car today, like right now in this video, as if I was recording, but I did not record it because I took the camera inside and threw it on charge. It was low battery, thinking that it was like done, that I wasn't going to record for a few days. So you're now going to skip to the car being clear coated. Spoiler alert, my apologies, I'm a dickhead. Enjoy the video. Good news, everybody. The car has been clear coated. It is shiny. It's looking good. That's pretty much most of what you've missed since the last episode. I haven't even edited the 4th video yet, and we're recording the 5th because I plan to have this pretty much done within the next 2 weeks. So I'm kind of just trying to kick some goals here now. Today we're going to revisit the bonnet because, as you can see, this is just me like practice painting with trying to get the car going, so I'm just using this as a bit of a pad. And we had some issues last time painting it. We got some wrinkles up here and on that side over there. So I'm going to sand the entire bonnet back today again. Don't need to like strip the paint, just sand it flat and smooth. Sorry, my bad. And then prime it, paint it, clear coat it, all in one go. And this is the car here. Let me show you what we're looking at. All right, she's nice and shiny. She's looking good. She is complete. So there is a lot of orange peel, which is to be expected in a garage home job. Orange peel, nibs, and runs. Like down here, you probably can't see on the video, but there's like some runs here on the wheel arch. Just like overspray from clear coat. Nothing we can't get rid of. There are really very small imperfections, almost none. There's some runs here as well, you can probably see. All of that is polishable. We can just cut, polish, and I've got a tungsten block coming soon to get rid of like little nibs like this. So we can just sand all that out and just be really smooth and fine with the finish and get it nice and shiny. But I won't be able to do that for a couple of months, just because we want the clear coat and the paint to fully settle, fully cure, let the gases escape, and I need to get the back seats back in the car. So that's pretty much what the car's looking like at the moment, how it is. Looks beautiful, I love it. I think the color choice was strong. Only one question I have for you guys, which is the back here. Now I covered this part here when clear coating, because I was gonna paint this black. It's currently yellow. I was gonna paint it black and then have the black stripes down the middle of the car. But I'm considering keeping it yellow. I might cover the rest of the car later and remove this and just give it another coat of yellow and then spray paint it, spray it with a top coat and let it sit. I'm not sure yet, to be honest. I think that's what I might do. But look, the decision's probably gonna be made before you watch this video, but if you come to the live streams, you probably helped me make that decision. I'll pull up Photoshop on stream and we'll have a discussion about it. But today, whatever I can record before the battery dies, I'll show you what we're doing with the bonnet. The battery keeps dying. I could get a new camera, but like, I just spent like another $1,000 at the fucking paint shop this morning, man. This is starting to get pretty expensive. I don't really have the money for a camera. So, I'm just doing the best I can with what I got. Hopefully you guys can keep up, but yeah, look, I'm having fun and it's going well regardless, and that's the main thing. You get to at least see the progress, if not the actual work itself. So I'm happy you get to see that at least. But hopefully this weekend, if I get this bonnet done today, it's Thursday today. If I get it done, primed, painted, sealed, top coated, then tomorrow afternoon I'll get my dad to come over, get him to help me put it back on, and I'll try to put these windows back in as well. So we have the windows, like the windshield, the rear windshield in, bonnet back on, hood if you will, and then I'll put the boot on here, do the boot, or the trunk for the Americans. Do that on Saturday. Sunday UFC's on, so I've got to go to the pub, obviously, watch the UFC, the boys come on, got to go to the sports bar. So come back Saturday afternoon, I'll probably get the boot put back on as well, get my dad to come around and help me with that, put a door on, start doing the doors, and hopefully within the week, if not fortnight, I can have the car back together in one piece, let it sit for a couple of days, drive down to about half an hour in town, get the back seats put back in, bring it back, and then just let it properly sit and cure as best I can for a good while before we do anything else. So that's the game plan over the next few weeks. I'll record as much of it as I can, but for now, I'm going to start working on the bonnet. Hopefully you can get some good footage in. Thanks. Alright, I am fucking sweating, and this is about to end the recording because it automatically does like 20 minutes. But that's all sanded flat. I'm going to clean it, wipe it down, tack rag it, prime it. Let's fucking do it. I don't want to brag too much, but I think I'm getting pretty good at using that gun. I'm going to let it sit for half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna take the 400 grit sandpaper to it. It should be pretty fucking flat already, just because it's been painted and primed like 3 fucking times now. So I'm just gonna get it nice and smooth, take the sander over it, smooth off the top, keep it nice and level, and then we should be able to paint it within about an hour and a half or so. So I'm gonna have something to eat. The batteries are half dead, so I reckon it's probably not going to last before the bonnet's painted fully, but just here I had a bit of, there was a little imperfection from the last time I painted it, created little dents, and then when I primed and sanded, those dents were still slightly there, and I didn't want them to show through the paint, so that's why I puttied it up, and that is like, that's dead smooth now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it with wax and grease cleaner, then I might prime that corner again, just to make sure the putty's covered, and then I will smooth it all out again and then paint. So if the battery dies before then, that's what you're missing, which I'll, I guess, charge the camera and cover what's happened at the end of the video. But if you're gonna see the content still, then thumbs up. Alright, the battery's about to die, so basically I've gone over it with 400 and 600 grit. It's smooth, it's cleaned. Tack cloth now, and then paint. It's going to be yellow and top coated the next time you see it. I'm also likely going to have it possibly on the car with the windshield and the rear window back in the car, which I'll put at the end of this video anyway. The battery's just it's gonna die in like a minute, so I'll record what I can now, and then we'll skip to the end. Sorry for having shit gear, but you know how it is. Look at all that. Just fucking picks up all the primer. All the loose shit. Gotta keep going.